Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokémon Insurgence. I hope everybody is staying happy, healthy, and safe. On the last part, we finally made our way here to Sonata City. We explored the city, we explored things mainly like the Pokepon over here, which I should probably be doing right now, and also the Sonata tracks, which are to the south of here. Also, something I missed out on 2 items in the last part. One is right here. It's called the Dream Mist, and this is actually not too important right now, but it is kind of an item that you might want to have late game, so just kind of keep that in mind. The other item that I actually missed is right over here. There's this little boy right here. If you're off to the gym, you should know Harmony's a really tough opponent. Any one of her normal or fairy type Pokemon could sweep through your whole team. Take this. Let me know how it goes. And he will actually give us the leftovers, so that'll be our second leftovers in the game. So speaking of which, I actually have to show off the team. I did some training up in between parts. So I now have the Vespiquin right here. It's evolved from the Delta Combi, which is always female, thankfully. I didn't really think to keep it as a combi and evolve it in this part, mainly because I didn't have much of a choice. I was scared I was going to lose access to certain moves. At the time, I really don't know what I was thinking at the time, so we now have this Delta Vespiquin, which is absolutely amazing. People don't really think about it much, but Vespiquin has really good defenses. It has like 102 base defenses. And with this typing and levitate, this thing's a freaking heat ran, except better. So I used the TM for substitute to teach it substitute, obviously. As shift gear, which I got at the move relearner, Iron Head, and Lava Plume. Lava Plume is just because I couldn't really find a decent fire type attack to give it. I mean, I could give it a Flare Blitz, but the whole point of this set is sort of to live long and do things, I guess. We also have Vulcan, the regular Typhlosion, but it's holding its Megastone, which is unique to Insurgence, so we're going to show that off. So this thing is actually pretty cool. The bad thing is this doesn't get any decent moves. Look at this. We have Eruption and we have Lava Bloom. That's basically it. I mean, you could also have like Flamethrower. The main point is this thing is... The only thing this thing really wants to do is spam Eruption. That's basically it. So that's what it's going to do. We also have the Delta Axew here. I'm going to be evolving it here in this part. So this isn't really its full moveset, but I'll show that off in a bit. So first, let me go into my bag, find some rare candies, and we can evolve this right here on screen. I could have also changed its ability to, I think it's Strong Jaw, but I really don't care about that too much. It's really cool with its coverage, but I also like the setup. So that's actually really cool. That's going to be the Delta Fracture. And it just looks so cool, especially with that hook. Although that kind of looks painful too. I'm going to go ahead and give it one more rare candy. Unfortunately, I didn't really plan this too well, so it's going to be like 1 or 2 levels over leveled. But there we have it. We have the Delta Haxorus, which is just so cool. You know, it has those chains coming out of its head. I really don't know how to describe it. It's amazing. Unfortunately, Delta Haxorus doesn't have its full moveset, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a few new moves. Iron Head is actually a tutor move that will be coming into pretty soon, but we don't have access to it just yet. What I can do, however, is I can go to the move tutor and I can actually teach it Bullet Punch, which is absolutely crazy, and I really, really like it. So I'll probably be getting rid of Crunch right here, just keep the stab option. Since I probably won't be using Agility, I could have also gotten rid of that. I like agility mainly for the possibility of running like a double dance set, which is basically like sword stance, agility, and then you kind of sweep from there. But I won't be running that. Also, as you can tell, this thing is water steel, so that's pretty good. And that's all I got for you. So in this part, we're going to be going ahead and taking on the gym, and hopefully nothing bad happens. Also, I should probably give that leftovers to my Delta Vespiquin. I'm really hoping that I can show off the Vespiquin, but who knows what'll happen. So if we make our way up over here, all the way up over here is going to be the gym. So it's kind of another maze. It's not quite the same as the bug type gym, bug and poison gym, but it is a maze indeed. It's actually a little bit confusing. The first time you go in here, you might not realize that you can actually enter these two parts over here. But you can, and once you realize that, it's very, very simple. So up here is going to be Harmony. I'm going to make a safety save just in case anything goes wrong. And actually, I think I want to switch my party around. So I think I want Vespiquin right here in the back, and I probably want Haxorus in the front. I don't know if there's anything I really want to give it either. I might give it the Rocky Helmet. Probably not. You know what? I'll give it the leftovers too. Why not? Why not? Alright. Well, if it isn't Icy. You remember me from Suntouch City? It's me, Harmony. We fought the Perfection Cult together. We didn't really fight them. I digress. I run the gym here in Sonata City. I specialize in normal and fairy-type Pokemon. Do you really think you can take me on? If so, let's start. I can't wait to see what you'll bring to the table. Ready to be crushed. Okay, sure. She is going to be absolutely merciless. Trust me. So starting off with this Cinccino, it has the ability Skill Link, which means its multi-hit moves will hit the maximum number of times. It has the King's Rock for an item, and it has Tail Slap, Rock Blast, Bullet Seed, and Knock Off. So a little bit of math for you. A multi-hit move that hits 5 times, with a King's Rock making each move have each hit have a chance to flinch, comes out to something like 43% of a flinch chance, I'm pretty sure. Keep in mind, I actually didn't do the math. It's more like I looked this up ages ago, and that's what I got. So hopefully I don't flinch here. That would be really nice. I flinched. Of course I did. I mainly just want to get some sword stance up, and it would be really nice if I didn't flinch, but there's a really good chance I will. Thankfully, the leftovers there is going to keep me healthy, and I can take a few hits because Haxorus is kind of bulky. So we can get that sword stance up right there, and just bullet punch this thing away. I don't think the crit mattered. Next up is going to be Azumarill, and I'm completely fine with that. This Azumarill here has huge power, has the Choice Band for a held item, has Waterfall, Aqua Jet, Superpower, and Play Rough. So I'm just going to bullet punch this right here. And this should have been a 2-hit KO, but we did get knocked out there, kind of, unfortunately. So Vespiquin is pretty slow. I think I'll just send in Demi X right here. It's Choice Banded, which means it's kind of locked into this move, which means I can basically do whatever I want to with it, to this Pokemon. So if I want, I could probably set up Acupressure here. I might actually do that, because even though she full restores right there, she can't change the fact that she is kind of locked into Waterfall, and wow, that's damage. So I'm going to set up another one. She's almost knocked me out at this point. I'll go for the Stored Power and knock out the Azumarill right there. That Pokemon is just so dangerous. I really don't like dealing with it at all. So finally, I can send in my Vespiquin here on the Sylveon. So this Sylveon here has the Pixelate ability. It's holding the choice specs. Again, very dangerous. As Hyper Voice, Shadow Ball, Psyshock, and Hidden Power Fire. So thankfully, we are the Vespiquin here. We're basically a mini Heatran. We can do what we want here. So the best thing it can do is Hidden Power Fire us with the choice specs. Meanwhile, I just get to set up Shift Gear for basically free here. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up all the way to the max. It is getting us pretty low. I think I can set up a substitute, but I don't know if it'll break it or not. And I don't know if I should risk it. I'm gonna risk it. Okay, that wasn't worth it. I'm just going to go ahead and Iron Head the Sylveon and knock it out. That is basically what I intended on doing, and that's what we've done so far. So, finally, the Miltank is going to come out. The Miltank of everybody's nightmare. People thought Whitney's Miltank was bad. No, this is a little bit worse. It has an item called the Miltankite, which means it's going to Mega Evolve into Mega Miltank. It has the ability Scrappy right now, but when it Mega Evolves, it's going to gain an ability called Pendulum. So Pendulum is basically the item Metronome. So every time you use a move consistently, you gain power each time you use it. So this Miltank has Earthquake, it has Body Slam, has Rollout, and it has Curse. So thankfully, it's going to have to get the Rollout going if it tries to use that on us. And Body Slam won't hit us that hard. And we can also go for some flinches here. So we can do to her what she did to us in the beginning. Can't believe we got those flinches actually. That's amazing. This is actually justice. I'm kind of okay with that. We did her dirty, but that's fine. So next up is going to be the Gardevoir. Has the ability trace. It has a Focus Sash. It has Focus Blast, Signal Beam, Psychic, and Destiny Wand. So I'm going to Iron Head, drop it to its Sash. And she actually hits the Focus Blast. It's kind of annoying. But that's fine. We have one other Pokemon here that we want to show off here. So this is going to be Vulcan right here. And I'm just going to Mega Evolve it. Go straight for the Eruption, because why not? So if you remember, Mega Typhlosion has the Hubris ability, so our special attack just got boosted right there. We're at +1. And our final Pokemon is going to be Togekiss. Has the ability Serene Grace, it has the leftovers for a held item. Has Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash, Thunder Wave, and Nasty Plot. I'm really glad that we got to show off these Pokemon. Well, we haven't won yet, but we have one now. But I'm really glad that I got to show off these Pokemon because we might not have had the opportunity to show off these Pokemon off later on. And besides that, most of my team at the given time, the Delta Pokemon that I was running around with, they were kind of weak to either normal or fairy. I mean, look at my starter. I lost. Unbelievable. Back when I first met you, I had a hunch you would beat me one day. I guess that prediction was right. Congratulations. You can have this too. Dazzling Gleam isn't the best fairy type move, but it's one of the, if not the only ones able to be taught by TM. It's definitely a great coverage move for your team. Next, you'll want to head over to Kepler City. The leader there is a very good... Miss Harmony? Huh? Who are you? My name's Nora. I'm a challenger, but that's not important. You know the hospital just north of the city? I was sent here to tell you that the power got cut. Power? What? That's impossible. The system is protected. It shouldn't just fail like that. Unless... sabotaged. Oh, no, 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 no. I need to check it out. There are people in that hospital in very critical conditions. They need that power in order to live. Would you two mind giving me a hand? If somebody really did sabotage it, they might be dangerous. And I'd love all the help I can get. Alright, well, I guess we really don't have any choice but to go help. However, before we leave this gym, I just want to point out another item before I miss it. Right over here is going to be a rare candy. You might want to grab that. I probably should have pointed it out before the gym battle, but that's fine. I was kind of bothered because I actually hadn't gone into that gym battle with a plan or anything like that, so I was a little bit worried. But that's fine, I'm going to go ahead and heal up, just in case something might happen. Nothing's going to happen, it's going to be fine. And we're going to head up here to Sonata Hills. So if we make our way all the way up over here, you'll notice that the power is out, especially if you went ahead and visited earlier. Anyways, we're actually supposed to head down those stairs to the bottom right, but we're going to skip that for now. If you hadn't been here before, you might notice that there's a bunch of rooms that we can enter, and there's actually items in most of these rooms. It's pretty cool. The 4 big items here are going to be hidden rare candies. This girl over here mentions that she's dismissed from the hospital, so she's packing her things up and she hopes she didn't leave anything behind. So if you check the drawers, you'll actually find a hidden rare candy. But wait, there's more. There is another rare candy right here, and if we actually move into this room right here, we'll find another rare candy up over here. Of course, the rest of the items are just kind of small freebies like this Ultra Ball. I think there's also another rare candy on the upper level as well, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I think we've already been in that room as well. So let's check out this one. You have anything for me, sir? No? Okay, fine. Actually, I might as well go ahead and grab the rare candy up over here. And you know what? While we're at it, we'll go ahead and grab the only other notable item here in this building. The TM for Dragon Pulse. Pretty good, right? And you know what? Since most of the other items are just really, really small items, let's just go ahead and go down here and get this over with. You again. From the Sun-Touched Gym, right? Pleased to see you again, Harmony. You too, I see. Nora. My name's Tane, if you don't remember. I'm a part of perfection. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Didn't you, slap a child and try to kidnap Reshiram? You, at the back. I don't know what why you're tampering with our power, but you better start explaining. Don't worry, Harmony. We'll turn the power back on. We just want to talk to you, that's all. Reukra, what are you doing here? Why are you here? I want to make a deal with you, Harmony. A deal? With the power source to the hospital? Are you actually blackmailing me with the lives of the people here? Reukra, what happened to you? You used to be so... I have the power cord. Stop talking. Thank you. That's right. It is me. It's been a while. I'm not the person you knew anymore. I'm the leader of Perfection Cult now. As for why I'm here, I was trying to find you. You run the hospital here, right? You have access to all the patients in the building. We want access to the room containing the patient Mauled. That's my father's room, Reukra. There's no chance I'm letting you near him, and you know it. I thought you might say that. We actually have your father's best interest at heart, believe it or not. We know he's sick. We know what his condition is. Let us help you. We can both get what we want here. I'll put the power back on, like you want. Then we'll go to Mald's room on the top floor, and we can talk. Fine, whatever. Just hurry up. People's lives are at stake here. Very well. Now, follow me. You used to be so different. What? Who's this Mald? More importantly, how does Harmony know a cult leader? No clue, but I'm planning on following them. I see. You should come along. I'd love to have some support. He's still not talking to me after what I said. I can't blame him. What I said was awful. I just hope that he won't snap and betray us. Wait up, I'm coming. And of course, we don't want to forget this, do we? Might as well grab that. Anyways, we want to next up head up over here to the top floor. So while we're up here, I'll go ahead and finish grabbing the rest of the items that I kind of left behind earlier in my impatience. Also, we finally got the call from the director telling us that he would like us to come back to the broadcast tower. He wants to start filming. That's interesting. We're going to be putting that off for quite a bit though. So again, most of these items, like I said, they're just very, very small. Buy them at the Pokemart if you really, really want them. But I don't want to waste, so I'm going to go ahead and clear out these rooms. So after we grab this Pokeball over here, we can finally head on in Mald's room. Are you crazy? I don't care how desperate I am. I'm not going to let you force inject some weird chemical into his bloodstream. Doesn't matter if we were friends. I'm not letting you touch him or any other patients here. You're a psychopath, a cultist. No way. Fine then. You can do it. Here's the vial. Analyze it. Do whatever you need to do to convince yourself it's safe. Fine, maybe I will. Do you know why we went to use your father, Harmony? Mald was around during the original Delta incident in Hoenn. After Deoxys was defeated above Moss Deep City, people below started reporting strange fevers. Everything ended up being fine, but testing showed that everybody's DNA was slightly tainted. Not enough to be significant, but enough to be noticed if you looked closely. My point is that Mald's body may not react to viruses in the same way ours do. And there's one in particular that I find interesting. Hold on a minute. This is just Pokerus. This isn't dangerous. We've known about this for years. Exactly. The Pokerus is a very unique as infections go. It helps the Pokemon rather than hindering it. It allows it to grow stronger. In the scientific world, we call this mutualism. What you're holding right now is a strain that specifically increases the HP stat. Now, even though the virus doesn't affect ordinary people, it may be able to help your father. Increasing his HP stat could heal him and even lengthen his lifespan. With some fine-tuning, we might even discover a path to immortality. What do you say, Harmony? is just the Pokerus virus in a tube. How do I know you're not lying? You don't. I owe you, Harmony. And at the moment, our interest happened to cross. You want your father healed, and this could be a breakthrough for our cult's research. It's merely a business transaction. Your father's life, our goals. Not only that, but if it works on him, it may work on you as well. You're right about the DNA thing. You told me that a long time ago. I'm desperate enough to try it, but double-cross me, Reukra, and I swear. I'm glad to hear it. Let's just get this over with. Listen, I don't like needles. If you guys don't mind, I think I'm going to wait outside. Seriously? He's in the room with a cultist and he's scared of needles? Anyways. Hang in there. 3, 2, 1. And done. I don't think it... Oh, you're awake. Are you okay? What's happening? Oh my Arceus, what? We need to talk quietly. Be careful not to provoke him. Bro, what on earth did you do? This wasn't supposed to happen. I'm not sure, but he looks a bit like Deoxys. I wonder if there's a connection. It would make sense. Deoxys is a virus known for its stats. Perhaps the Pokerus is an extension of this. You better fix him, Reukra, or I'll... I think he's been healed at least. He should live longer too. The problem is that the virus may have impacted his mind somehow. It seems this experiment needs far more fine-tuning. But anyways, we need to stay quiet. As long as we aren't loud, we can... Hey guys! So, how did it go? Did the needle go in okay? What an idiot. What have you done? This is your fault. This didn't go quite as planned, but what a breakthrough it's been. If he really is immortal now, and I'm sure we can find a way to use it without the drawbacks. Do you not care at all that someone just got kidnapped? What about my father? What did you do to him? Your father is fine. More than fine, in fact. He's the healthiest he's ever been. As for the boy, I'm sure he's fine. He may be infected, but the Pokerus helps, not hinders. My father would never do that. It's not really up to him at this point. Now it's time for me to take my leave. I have an appointment to keep with a gym leader. I hope you appreciate this. Your father is immortal now, after all. What a jerk. After all Sylveon and I did for him, you'd think he'd be a bit more appreciative. Damien. Listen, Nora, is it? We'll find your friend, I promise. Come with me. We'll try to figure out where Maud took him. I'd like that very much. I see. You can help us if you want. But you might find it more useful to head to Kepler City. worried that Reukra might have been talking about Anastasia, the leader there, when he said that he had an appointment. If you could warn her that she might be in danger, I'd appreciate it. The other thing is Maud. If you guys see him again, you have to let me know. We need to figure out a way to reverse this. For my own sake, I have to believe that it's possible. Come on, Nora. Follow me. Normally, I would call it quits for today, but we can still at least make it to next town. So that's actually what we're going to do. So once we've dealt with everything here at Sonata Hills and seen Maud transform, the exit over here will actually be clear, and we can head on in to Route 10. So Route 10 is actually really cool. It is a rainy route, which is always welcome, and there's actually some really cool Pokemon that you can grab here. If you remember correctly, this is actually Generation 6, and Politoed does appear on this route. And chances are, if you are running Rain, then you're using Politoed. So anyways, there is one mandatory trainer battle here on this route. So embrace this, because this is one of the trainer battles that you'll actually see me doing. Even if it's going to be very, very quick. Haxorus over here is going to make very, very quick work of this. Especially with the rain up. That's really, really nice, actually. This common NPC, daring to think that they are on the same level as me, especially while I'm recording. How dare they? But anyways, up over here, we can finally surf on the water. And we'll make our way here to what is known as Maelstrom 9. There's really not much to do here at Maelstrom 9. However, if we make our way all the way over here to the bottom left-hand corner, and then up a little bit, we'll find a move tutor. I love swimming so much. Even a maelstrom like this couldn't keep me away from the waves. The moves I teach reflect that. What can I teach you? And none of these are actually worth it. You have Water Pulse, you have Aqua Tail, Octazooka, and Whirlpool. So Aqua Tail is actually pretty good. We don't have access to Waterfall right now, so if you have something that's a physical water type attacker and you need a stab option for it, that's probably your move. Whirlpool is also actually pretty decent, not because it is a good attacking move, but because it is a trapping move. So if you wanted to like Perish Trap something, perhaps, maybe. Either way, up here we'll find our way into Kepler City. So the first thing I want to mention is that the exit to Route 11 is up over here. So I'll put the encounters up on the screen, and I just want you to know that if you want something from this route, get it now. That's all I'm going to tell you for now. So anyways, back to exploring the city. In this first house over here, if we talk to the Voltorb, we can actually grab an Electric Gem. So that might be helpful, it might not be. Over here on this planter, we'll actually find the TM for Wild Charge. So that's pretty cool. Inside of this building, oh, that's actually the crazy person's house. Never mind, we don't want to be in there. However, inside of this building, or house right here, if we talk to this Abomasnow, it will be holding the TM for Hail. Oh, that's pretty nice. And then most of these other houses over here don't really matter, except for this one. Or actually this one. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up a little bit. Greetings, young one. I'm the ancient guardian of the legendary HM03 Surf. Only with this move will you be able to cross large bodies of water. All I ask in return is... You already have an item for that. Are you serious? I had this whole speech prepared and... You know what? Just take the thing. I don't even care anymore. Kids these days just have everything handed to them. Well, you might not be wrong. Over here we have a move tutor for Defog. so I don't think there's any fog that we actually have to remove in this game. However, Generation 6 was the generation that defog got the added function of actually removing hazards in battle. So that might be a thing for you. It's actually not a thing for me, so I'm going to go ahead and continue up here. Unfortunately, the gym looks kind of empty, doesn't it? So I guess we'll go out here and we'll grab this Paralyze Heal and head on over here instead. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. One moment, please. Doctor writes, the telescope is completely fine. I don't know what you're talking about. There's a white glare in the middle of the image. It's clearly broken somehow. In the astronomy world, writes, we call that a star. That's not what that... We'll talk about this later. If you spent less time on that project of yours and more on actual research... Right, I said later. And don't forget that project of mine is what's funding us in the first place. Anyways, how can I help you? Oh, so you're a challenger. Nice to meet you. I'm Anastasia. I run the gym here. My gym is based around machines. I specialize in both electric and steel types. I'd be glad to take you on. Harmony told you to warn me about the Perfection Cult. One of their lackeys might be coming after me? See. Thanks for letting me know, but you don't need to worry. Let's just get going. I'm pretty busy at the moment. The sooner we can get this battle done, the better. What? The weather wasn't like this when I went into the building. This can't possibly be natural. But what kind of machine could possibly have created this? Not a machine, Anastasia. A Pokemon. Audrey. How have you been, Anastasia? Alive. The world is changing. Our plan has officially been put into action. The storm is only the beginning. Soon my Lugia's storms will flood the entire world. I thought your group worshipped Kyogre. Oh, we do. Believe me. But Kyogre's true value is only revealed in specific circumstances. These conditions are being created as we speak. And since leaders like you will be too busy trying to save citizens, we can't be stopped. Tell me, Anastasia, have you ever heard of thalassophobia? It describes mankind's innate fear of the deep, deep ocean. And soon, very soon, we'll be reminded of where it came from. Well, that's fantastic. The worst part is, she's right. I can't stop her. I need to protect people from the floods. June. I'm not going to ask you to fight her. Can't ask something like that of a kid. But if you could take this and find someone who could, I'd greatly appreciate it. If she has Kyogre, then she must be in a deep part of the ocean. And the only place like that around here is Maelstrom 9. That scuba gear will let you dive down there. The Abyssal Cult is putting their plan into action. And now is the best time to end them. That's how it works in the movies, right? Well, it seems like she's sending us on a quest to go fight them, even though she's technically telling us to go find someone else to do so. But Either way, like I said, if we come over here, you'll notice that the entrance to Route 11 is actually blocked off. We can't go there anymore, or at least at the moment, which is really unfortunate. Also, you might notice that the Pika Taxi guy, he was over here a little while ago. He's gone. He got out of town while he could. He's pretty smart, honestly. So you might want to heal up your Pokemon, and you might want to come out here and check out Maelstrom 9. It's not really raining out here, which is kind of weird. Either way, now that we have the scuba gear, we can actually dive down here, but instead of diving down here into Maelstrom 9, I'd rather take on some side quest. To start off our backtracking, I'm going to be heading to Route 9, which is the route just before Sonata City. And we're going to slowly head back from there, heading through all the available dive spots that we possibly can and grabbing some good items, hopefully. Here on Route 9, next to the entrance to Sonata City, we want to head over here to this pond, and if we head over here to this dive spot, well, obviously we can dive down here, and we'll actually find the TM for Energy Ball. That could be really helpful for what's to come. But our next stop is actually going to be a little further away. For now, we're going to be heading to the Stormy Sea and the Whirl Islands. So we're here south of Miara Town at the Stormy Seas, and if we make our way down over here, there is a small dive spot that's very hidden from us. And if we go all the way to the end of it, this cavern, and if we surface right up here, we'll find an island called Lush Island. Lush Island. An old place where Dunsparce used to gather. Well, it sure doesn't look like much. So if we check this bush right here, there was something crawling around. And it's this thing. I think I actually hate this Pokemon. I kind of like regular Dunsparce, but this is a little bit terrifying. If you know how the Delta Pokemon were created, and wow, that was too easy, no wonder, it's really bad. But if you remember how Delta Pokemon were created, then you know that they tend to have the same stats, or the same base stats, as their regular counterparts. That does not help this thing. A Delta species discovered by Lunar Dusk. Despite having a menacing appearance, it is quite friendly and skates around pond surfaces. So it is a bug and water type. Actually, a really unique typing at the moment. That's not going to last. So we're not done yet. While we're still in the area here, we're actually going to go ahead and surface back into the Stormy Seas, and we're going to be heading towards the Whirl Islands. Again, this is going to be another spot that I kind of mentioned or pointed out up over here. But if we dive down here, we can head all the way up over here and encounter this thing. So this is going to be Delta Clamperl. You know how the Delta Dunsparce made me really sad? Delta Clamperl makes me really happy. This is a normal dragon Pokemon, basically. It is a mono dragon Pokemon. But when it evolves into either the Gorebyss or the Huntail, it will gain either a fairy typing or a dark typing along with that dragon typing. So Delta Huntail actually has the dark typing and Gorebyss has the fairy typing, which is actually really fitting for Gorebyss. Gorebyss kind of looks like a fairy in its regular form anyways. But this is a Delta species discovered by Youngbro. It catches prey in its jaws by pretending to be an unassuming shellfish. It's actually a really good Pokemon no matter what you evolve it into. The only thing I have to recommend about it is keep it until it reaches level 50. Because like regular Clamperl, it learns Shell Smash. However, its evolutions do not. Anyways, if you thought we were done, we're not done yet. We're going to be heading back to Helios City now. Here in Helios City, this isn't really for any items. However, this is more about... Did you know this was actually here? So if you go over to this pond and you dive right here, aside from the soundtrack changing to something that doesn't really befit the underwater, we can actually dive up over here to surface in the Black Market. So that's actually a really cool shortcut. I really like that. Anyways, our next stop is going to be the Crossroads. Here at the Crossroads, just south of Vivek City, we can move all the way down over here. And yep, it's another dive spot. Down here we'll actually find the TM for Home Claws, which is pretty good. Our next stop after this is going to be the Sian Cavern. Here in the Sian Cavern, at the entrance or the exit to Suntouch City, rather, we go down this ladder over here and over to this pond. We can surf all the way over here to this dive spot. And at this dive spot, if we make our way down all the way up over here, eventually we can surface up over here and we can grab the Feraligatorite. So this is actually a very cool grab because we just finished having our experience with Mega Typhlosion, and pretty soon we can actually have our experience with Mega Feraligator. Of course, unfortunately, there is a certain move that I want to use with Feraligator that I can't use because it's kind of an egg move that I'll have to actually breed onto it. So that's a little complicated. But the good news is, we've already encountered wild Totodiles, so it's definitely usable if you want it right now. Anyways, our final stop is going to be the Dark Cave, which is actually south of Midnight Garden. So right here is going to be the Dark Cavern, or the Dark Cave. Wow, that actually scared me. I just kind of talked to it randomly, or my Haxorus randomly. We do have a flashlight now, so we can kind of have a better point of view, but right here in the middle of the pond here is going to be a dive spot. Unfortunately, even down here, we still need to actually have the flashlight. Well, we don't need it, but it does help out a little bit. We want to surf all the way up over here to this dive spot and surface. After we surface, we can come out into this room right here. And on this platform right here, we will actually find the Urn Incense. So this incense has an effect. It allows a Pokemon to flee and even teleport successfully, even if it's trapped in battle. That's actually pretty cool. It's basically like an infinite use shed shell. I believe I said that right. However, that's not all we can grab here. Over here on this rock is going to be our very first Ancient Ball. We probably won't have a lot of use for it right now. However, if you want to take a look at it right down here, it's a ball that works especially well on legendary and mythical Pokemon. So that's actually fantastic. And with this, we have done the last of our backtracking with Dive. So that means this part is going to be over. On the next part, we are going to be taking on the Abyssal Cult and hopefully taking them down. So thank you all for watching. I'm sorry if I sounded a little bit off. I'm coming down with a bit of a cold yet again. I feel like I'm always fighting them. It feels like sometimes as soon as I'm feeling better, I'm starting to fight them again. And this time my throat is actually really sore. So I was downing cough drops like earlier and trying to get into a good mood to record this, and you know, things just kind of happen. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, hope it helped, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.